Ladies and gentlemen,
May I have your attention, please?
407 years ago, disease had been present on our earth, just like every other year. And in this presentation, we will be targeting one of those diseases that has been causing deaths in our two favorite countries, Texas and the United States of America. This disease has killed women, children, and some very sexy male specimens. And that is why that I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the disease they have contracted, but by the disease they have eradicated. So, to start with the eradication process, we the people of the United States of America are implementing Operation Safe Neighborhood. We're going to start you off with a little background information. The vector that carries the disease we will be discussing is none other than the tick, Amblyomma maculatum. It is commonly known as the Gulf Coast tick, which obviously you can probably infer from the name that it means it's typically found in China. Just kidding, it's found in the Gulf Coast regions, like the southern states. The tick's geographical location runs along the coast from Texas all the way to Florida.
Here live with us, we have the Amblyomma maculata. Amblyomma macum. Amblyomma maculatum. It is currently sucking my thumb. Mommy issues? Probably. This is the vector of our disease, with both magnitude and direction. Oh yeah. When it's not feeding on defenseless children like myself, it's feeding on many animals like squirrels, rabbits, bears, and panthers. Oh my. For this tick, depending on what life cycle it's in, dictates which animal it's more likely to feed on. The smaller it is, and the earlier the life cycle, it's more likely to feed on smaller animals like rabbits and squirrels and rodents. Anyways, while this may look like a pin mark, it is actually the tick. And if you look very closely, not too closely, it has a very decorated scutum, which is very characteristic of the tick. And that is all I have to say about that, so we're going to take it back to the PowerPoint.
Anyways, unlike me, the ticks prefer to thrive in high humidity environments. Like me, they tend to seek out sheltered areas that have abundant shade. This particular species prefers regions that are temperate, tropical, or terrestrial. Next, pertaining to the Amblyomma maculatum's life cycle, pictured here, you can see that as it progresses from a larva to an adult, it gets larger. In addition to this, it becomes more ornate as well as changes environmental preferences. As the tick ages, it requires less and less moisture to develop. Thus, when it has finally matured to the adult stage, it is xerophilic, meaning that it loves dry environments. The time at which the activity of the ticks peak depends heavily on geographical location. The coastal populations in Texas are active from May to March, with the adult activity peaking during August, the larva activity peaking in December, and the nymphs in January. The populations located more inland, like Oklahoma and Kansas, are most active from February to October, with the adult activity peaking in April, the larva peaking in June, and the nymphs peaking in July. Finally, the Gulf Coast ticks in northern Florida are most prominent February to September. This reservoir is the enabler for the tick to transfer the disease to the humans, kind of. It is none other than the southern flying squirrel. Obviously. This savage beast is found anywhere from Texas to Kansas to Minnesota. We were also lucky to catch live footage of these squirrels plotting to take over the world.
we have a dumbass feeding a squirrel, which is exactly what we said not to do. Notice that this squirrel is, quite characteristically, inhabiting a deciduous tree. No, that is not an oak tree for those of you at home. The video quality happens to be really low and it just looks like an oak tree for some reason. Anyways, these little squirrels may look bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, but they will hide out in your attic. You will get a disease, and then you will get pregnant and die.
Please, we beg of you that if you see them, do not feed them, do not pet them, and do not baby talk them. Whatever you do, avoid them at all costs, unless you are about to hit them with your car. Then that is okay. Current victims, these people have contracted the disease vectored by amblyomma maculatum, which has been reservoired by the evil squirrel beasts. This disease has consistently caused a fever, shivering, low blood pressure, malaise, and infection of the subcutaneous tissues. Every patient recorded to have it has died despite attempts of treatment.
Here lies patient 0. It's crazy that this person fell perfectly in the lines of the chalk.
I think the chalk lines were drawn after he died.
We're dealing with some kind of mastermind. Anyways, this is Cynthia Whitley, weighing in at 260 pounds, 5'4". She had 47 years of age when her life was taken from her. Her symptoms began on April 28th, and she lost her fight on May 2nd. We're also just now discovering the disease had an additional symptom that was not originally reported. It appears that after a certain amount of time, that the appearances of the patient changes so that they may or may not be why they look different from the pictures on the website.
We're going to talk about the mysterious disease that we have been alluding to this entire presentation, Letifer morbus, inamabilis sciurus. For those of you ignorant babies at home that are wondering what the hell is that translates literally to the deadly squirrel disease in Latin. Yes, intimidating, I know. The disease agent causing this is Yersinia pestis. It's most commonly known for previously causing the bubonic plague, the septicemic plague, and the pneumonic plague. However, now it is known for causing the plague of the century, having killed over 7 people, and by over 7 people we mean 8 people. It has become one of the most monitored diseases in the world, and by most monitored disease in the world we mean 8 incredibly mediocre college students are monitoring it. This bacteria's rod-shaped, is a facultative anaerobe, gram-negative, and belongs to the family of Enterobacteriaceae. Now I know you're asking yourself, what can we do with these? Well, my dense, unintelligent friends, we can do a lot of things. Our current options are fungal treatment, a sterile mail technique, and informing the public. I would like to acknowledge the people and their concerns of so-called fungal poisoning. There is no evidence that our fungus has caused any type of poisoning. Maybe y'all should stop blaming y'all's rashes on us and use a condom for f***'s sake. Anywho, here's a joke to soften the mood now that announcement is out of the way. Insert fungi joke here. What does a fungi enjoy at campfires? Spores. The fungus as a prevention method has reduced the amount of amblyomma maculatum we are able to trap by 71%, meaning that this particular species is becoming way less prevalent, thus decreasing the chance of anyone contracting this disease. In conclusion, we will be continuing to advocate this fungus treatment as one of our methods due to its efficiency in taking out the ticks. 2 species of fungi will be used, Beauveria bassiana and Metarhizium anisopliae, through enzymatic and physical mechanisms. These fungi can directly penetrate the cuticle of the tick. The fungi results in a 90% mortality rate with the amblyomma maculatum species and is highly virulent. Next, our team will exploit the tick's vulnerability to penetration by increasing the natural fungal population in predetermined areas with high numbers of infected amblyomma maculatum. We will be applying by Pesco 5, a pesticide with the fungus metarhizium as an active ingredient. Absolutely ingenious? Yes, we know. This is known as augmentation biological control. It is important to note that this method has been thoroughly thought out, not by us, but by actual scientists from the Norwegian Institute for Agricultural and Environmental Research, and they have discovered for us that this fungus is not toxic to humans, animals, or the natural environment, making it the perfect candidate for this. Now, we are aware that some people here in Florida, and I am not going to mention any names, Marco Rubio, are against the use of fungi as a way to control this recent outbreak. So we are going to work with the public and educate them about why this is a good thing. We are willing to hold press meetings and town halls to listen to the complaints of the people, and we will bring in CDC officials to explain the science behind this biological control method. Or maybe we can just tweet about this, since that seems to be very effective these days. Our goal is to make the people of Florida cooperative and safe, and we will use any means necessary, even if it means making generous donations to the campaign of the Florida governor in order to secure his support. Winky face.
Hey, does anyone know if the fungal poisoning they're talking about causes like a rash? And like, did they mention where it was located? I'm asking for a friend.
Right. Next we have the sterile mail technique. Here we between the vector and the host. Two methods are available to sterilize the male ticks. The two methods are gamma radiation and RNA silencing. Ticks are captured and exposed to gamma radiation. This is how they are sterilized. Then they are released into the environment. The second method of sterile male technique requires the RNA interfering with subolucin expression. Silencing of subolucin gene expression disrupts reproductive capability of male and female ticks, which could lower the tick population. Application of this method could be done by injecting ticks with 0.2 to 2.5 microliters of dsRNA with a Hamilton syringe in the lower right ventral of their exoskeletons. The strategy we are choosing to employ is public awareness. We are creating a center, the Derek Zoolander Center for Entomology students who can't read good and want to learn to do other good stuff too, like eradicate Letifer, morbus, inamabilis, sciurus. The center will be responsible for conducting research and spreading public awareness. Research will be done to compare rates of reported tick-borne illnesses between participants who received preventative education and those who did not. Theory-based models of behavior will be used as the basis of any program implementation. These models emphasize the need to repeatedly present information and provide examples in order to persuade people to adopt new behavioral changes. In addition to this, we will do community outreach by promoting tick-safe zone programs and spread other pertinent information. In these next videos, we're going to show you that there are a couple more alternative methods to fighting this disease if you choose to take things into your own hands. Just remember to be careful.
And on the third day, God invented the Remington bolt-action rifle so that man could fight the squirrels and the Amblyomma maculatum.